It starts on Tobacco Road, Duke, UNC, NC State. It's the hotbed of college basketball.
They're able to recruit just because of the tradition and the fine coaches that they have. That people want to go there. Good high school players want to go there, and then from there they can develop because they're working with the best and playing against the best college has to offer.
More proof that the ACC is the top college basketball conference in the country. 4 players on the Cleveland Cavaliers are from the ACC. 3 of them have just been named to the NBA All-Star team.
Yeah, it is a great conference. I mean, we had some great players. Obviously, Michael Jordan came from there, and back when I was playing, Gene Banks and Al Woods and Mike Jaminski, so it always was a good conference, and I think it's the best.
Night in, night out, you're playing against top-notch competition, and that just makes you better. I look at the guys I played against. I think there's 5, 6 guys, I played against in college that I'm playing against now in the NBA, and so when you're playing that kind of competition, it just prepares you.
We felt like the ACC had the best basketball when I was there. I think they still do today. There's a lot of talent in the ACC, and there's some coaching legends there, and I just felt really fortunate to be a part of that league and the program that I was in, and there's no doubt about it, they play some of the best basketball there.
In Charlotte, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports. You've seen him before. Dan Schmatzer, head basketball coach at Coker College. Meet twin brother Dave, head baseball coach at Coker. Yep, I said baseball. A new field and a new sport for the Cobras.
The guys are real excited. I mean, their core pulses are jumping. If they're not, then they shouldn't be here, They're so tired, though, of working out and playing against each other. They want to find out how good they are. And I'm telling you, this is a pretty good club. I don't know. We're not bad. I just want to know how good we are, and that's why we're starting to play the other teams.
He's a really good coach, and he really knows what he's doing. So we really had, I reckon, all of us took it upon ourselves to say that he was a good coach so he could recruit good people.
Coker's a good business school, and I liked what Coach Schmatzer said, and I believed in what he said, and he sounded like he was honest, so I took a chance, and it was a good one.
Whatever the choice, the baseball team is confident and ready to win.
This is my 15th year in college coaching, and I know that you can't win the Kentucky Derby with a mule, but you have to win with kids with some abilities and kids that have spirit for the game, and they have both of those ingredients. We expect to win. We expect to have a winning season.
In Hartsville, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports. Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, the vet and the rookie. Hi, I'm Ken Slats. For Earnhardt, a victory at the most popular NASCAR race eludes him once again.
No, I didn't. I didn't think I had one till the checkered flag following. I didn't win again, so I got to try the 15th year. So what the hell? Big deal.
Well, it is kind of a big deal. Earnhardt is winless in 15 tries. Only Darrell Waltrip tried more times without winning. But on the 17th try, D-Dub finally won.
I'll run second. I'm happy. I got 170-some points or 70 points. Good start on the year. Go out for that championship.
It was the most exciting thing in my life to be there riding with Dale Earnhardt. I knew he was loose. I think we might have been able to do a little bit more if he wasn't as loose, because I could have drafted a little bit better with him. It's just a great run for anybody, I believe. I think we had a really good day, and I mean, anytime you come out here with a car that's in one piece, let alone a top 5 at Daytona 500, it's unbelievable.
That 5th place finish no doubt gave him a jump on Rookie of the Year honors, but what Jeff Gordon will remember the most?
I'll never forget that. As long as I lived, I came on the rail, I said, guys, we didn't just lead a lap, we led the first lap at Daytona 500. That's something really special.
About a month ago, Tony Duncan became the all-time Big South and Chanticleer career scoring leader. Last night at the Coop, Duncan hit the groove again. By the time he left the game, Duncan had 43 points. That's the top single-game performance ever by a Sean or any Big South player.
Like any other game, I just came out, wanted to play hard, have some fun.
And it's a good time to play hard and start having fun because in just 4 games, it's Big South tournament time.
Well, I'm still concerned about our defense and our rebounding. We got a real tough game at Campbell on Thursday night. I'm really concerned about that game. I'm still not pleased with our defense and our rebounding. We're going to have to improve that if we expect to win the tournament.
Trouble behind Rusty Wallace is turning over.
Rusty Wallace 20 feet in the air, spinning, crashing.
I looked at the tape several times, and every time I looked at it, I got madder and madder at some of those guys out there. So I just quit looking at it. I know exactly what happened, and it was unfortunate, you know.
Physically, how do you feel?
I'm a little beat up. My rib cage hurts real bad. I didn't think that I was sore until I got in the car, and then the sides that come around the seat right now rattling me pretty hard, and nothing's broke, but I'm a lot more tender than I thought I was going to be.
To see the wreck for Rusty at the Daytona 500, it's hard to believe he's back out on the track. Just a couple of days later, he's practicing and ready to try and tame the rock.
Feels good. Feels good to have some responsive horsepower and have some tires that stick real good and there's a lot of downforce in the car and be able to drive it into the corner real deep and get on the brakes and fly back none the other way. It feels good. I mean, I'm excited about it.
And Rusty should be excited. In 1989, he sat on the pole and won the race. If healthy, number 2 should be a top contender at the Rock in 93. Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports.
You know, we could sit and not try to do anything else, but, you know, we put ourselves in a position here by winning that race, you know, for a lot of other bonuses that we have opportunities at. But the biggest thing is come away from Daytona with 180 points, and you're up at the top of the points list.
Speed week in the Daytona 500, it's over. Time to move on. Next stop, the Rock, Rockingham, North Carolina. A very different track than Daytona, and for the cars, no restrictions.
It's a bigger change feel-wise than what a restrictor plate motor is, but, you know, racing's racing. It doesn't make any difference whether you're unrestricted or unrestricted. You got to beat everybody, and that's what it's all about.
That's good to be back racing that kind of, you know, power and that kind of throttle response, but, you know, we're going to get it on here at Rockingham. It's going to be fun, and racing's racing. You know, when we're all having competition and out there getting it on with each other, it's fun.
And on the 28th, that competition will resume.
Rockingham is a pretty typical Winston Cup track. The traction and handling is definitely the key. And, you know, it's a long race. You got to be awful comfortable out there.
In Rockingham, Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports. For Cale Yarborough, the hard work to nail down a sponsor came to an end.
We got a 3-year deal with Bojangles, and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm as happy as I can be about it. It's been a long winter trying to put a sponsorship together, and you know, Derek Cope is going to be the driver, and I think we got a winning combination now.
It's just total enlightenment here for us. You know, we're just excited, you know, to get everything put together and to have a company like Bojangles, you know, which is a very promotions-oriented company. That's ideal for Winston Cup racing. It's ideal for Derek Cope and Cale Yarborough, and we're ready to go racing right now.
All right, it's cold, it's rainy, it's miserable out here. There's no doubt about that. But for Cale Yarborough, Derek Cope, and the Bojangles team, it's a lot nicer than it appears.
Oh, I'm really excited. You know, I said it's a rainy day, but the sun's shining for me today.
I tell you what, the sun's shining through right now. I'm hot and ready to go. I've been drinking Bojangles iced tea all day, so I'm pumped up.
And pumped up he should be, but he'll have to wait until tomorrow at 11:15 for the Bojangles debut. At the Rock, Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports. Coach Russ Bergman knows the steps it takes to go to the NCAAs. Coach Russ Bergman knows the steps it takes to go to the NCAAs. After all, he did it in 1991.
Anytime you go into tournament play, you just got to make sure you create a lot with your defense and your rebounding, and I think everything else will take care of itself.
The Chants finished the regular season on an 8-game winning streak. Next up, the Big South tournament. If they can win the tournament, then they're headed to the NCAAs.
I think we're as ready as we're going to be. I don't think we need to change anything. I think we just need to go out, play like we do how we can play, and let our actions speak for us.
I think right now we still ain't at the top, but we're pretty real close, way far along than we were at the beginning of the season. So I think we're starting to play together good and at the right time.
We've been playing real good. You know, like all we gotta do now is that like the season is off now. All we gotta do is just like go to the Big South, you know, play defense and win the Big South and go to the dance.
And that's the goal. Win this weekend's Big South tourney and then think about the big dance. At the Coop, Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports. The Patriots have their work cut out this weekend. More Peach Belt action, but this time a loss means the season is over.
We worked all year for the opportunity to play in the Peach Belt tournament, and I think we won 7 of our last 8 ball games. We got to be ready.
I feel real good. We feel real confident right now. We're playing at a real high level, and all of us just want to go in Friday night and play real good against Columbus, and we want to win it all.
You won't see a scrimmage in this gym. In fact, you'll just see a lot of drills going on. That's because the Patriots have only 8 players dressed, but it's been that way all year.
Just suck it up. You know, the main thing, if you can't do nothing, just play defense. That's all Coach will ask you. You know, if your offense is not ticking, just concentrate on defense and rebound.
Columbus College is our first obstacle. They're a great three-point shooting team and a very dangerous type ball club. We defeated them twice, and we want to go for the hat trick this Friday night.
And with Ryan Harris back in the Patriot lineup, that adds much-needed depth to a depleted squad. In Florence, Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports.
After the way our year started off at Daytona and Rockingham, we didn't know what was going wrong, and then to have a race like we had on Sunday up at Richmond, it sure builds the confidence back up, boosts the spirits again.
And it boosts the team's points total, too. The Haviland Ford team is up to 8th, just 105 points back of leader Dale Jarrett. Next up, well, Davies testing now in Darlington, but also preparing for Atlanta this weekend.
Every car has certain characteristics and things that it responds to. It doesn't matter what racetrack you're at, those same characteristics play into effect on that particular car, and that's what we want to learn. What makes this car loose, what makes it tight, you know, what makes it do certain things. So that, you know, we're going to change a lot, we're going to try some things, and we'll see what happens.
After the victory at Richmond, I'll bet there's not a whole lot to change. At the track Too Tough to Tame, Ken Slats, WPDE, Action Sports.
Second half. And now Duncan throws the rainbow in, and the shots are...
This is it, the big time, the NCAA tournament. For Terrell's Bay graduate Tony Duncan, it's not something new.
Reflecting back on 2 years ago, it was real live. It was. I don't think I've ever seen that many people in one place before.
And way to the NCAA tournament yet again.
We're going to try to keep from being mentally stressed out before the first game. Hopefully we'll be physically prepared and mentally prepared as far as not being mentally stressed out from all the hype and media attention that we're receiving.
Coach, you were there 2 years ago. Is this team better than that team was?
That's a tough question I'm definitely not going to answer.
So that answer must come in the first round of the tournament. But who will the Chants play?
I think that we're too good a team to draw North Carolina. I think that we'll play someone else that's no question is going to be a top 10. It may be Kentucky. It may be Vanderbilt. I really don't know at this time. But, you know, we're just excited about trying to improve our team, and whoever we play, well, it'll be a great opportunity for us.
I really don't care. You know, whoever steps on the court against me, I'm going to play them just as hard as I can play them for 40 minutes. So it really doesn't matter.
But what does matter is that Coastal is in. Ken Slats reporting, WPDE Action Sports.
You know, you just come out here and just go through a series of changes. You know, we're trying 2 different cars, and I got the car I won here with, and then I got another car here that we ran at Richmond. You know, just trying different stuff and just seeing what works better.
Bill Elliott has definitely had success here in Darlington. He's the defending champion of the Trans-South 500. That came right in the middle of a race winning streak as well. This season he's been struggling. He's testing here in Darlington, but hoping for success this weekend in Atlanta.
Well, Atlanta was good to me both races last year, and it's kind of a hometown deal there, but yet anything can happen in this business, and it usually does.
And so far, those problems have held Elliott back, but as he knows, it can happen to the best.
Any team in here can have a good time, you know, or something go wrong or a series of problems, you know, and you can't overcome it sometimes. And, you know, for us, it's just been a series of a lot of little things happening.
In Darlington, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports. Coastal Carolina waited until the final region was announced. By then, it wasn't much of a surprise who they were going to play.
I'm very excited about getting an opportunity to play against a team like Michigan. They have a lot of great players, and I think it'll be great exposure for us and a great opportunity for Coastal Carolina.
Very disappointing that we were a 16th seed, and especially with a 22-9 record. Even if you take the 3 non-Division I wins off, we're still 19-9, and I thought, you know, at the worst we would have been a 15th seed, and it's sort of depressing to me to see Manhattan ranked 11th in the seeding. You know, it's hard for me to believe after watching their championship game that they're any better than we are.
I thought at one point we were going into Orlando. I thought we deserved at least a 14th or 15th seed. I don't think we deserve a 16th seed. I'm happy to be into the Final 64, don't get me wrong or anything, but I think that we deserved a better seed than we got.
Whatever the seed, Michigan is the opponent. For Tony Duncan, it's the second trip in 3 years.
I'm not going to make the same mistake this time that I made 2 years ago, playing an All-American, Calvert Chaney, and playing the big name of Indiana. I'm just go out there and play. It's like I'm playing another game.
I've learned a lot. Tony Duncan's learned a lot. He's the only player we have returning from that team, so we'll take our experience back with us, and hopefully what we've learned will rub off on our players.
But for those who haven't been there before, it's almost a dream come true.
Hey, bring it on. I'm going to lace them up. I'm ready.
In Horry County, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports.
All I know is they have won that league 2 or 3 years in a row, and their premier player, Duncan, is first time ever 4 years MVP of the league.
Well, Steve Fisher is half right. Duncan is 4-time Conference Player of the Year. However, the Chants won the Big South 2 years ago and not last year.
Coastal Carolina is a 16th seed now.
He's getting better.
Good enough to win their league and be in the tournament. So hopefully we'll play well. I think our kids will be extremely excited about playing.
What's it going to take for Coastal Carolina to knock off a team like Michigan?
Well, it's going to take a lot of hard work and a little luck.
Basically, we're just going to work on our transition defense, and we're going to have to change up the tempo on them up and speed it up, slow it down, keep them off balance.
They're a great basketball team. It's a great opportunity for us, and we're in a great situation. We're not supposed to win, and it's a situation where we're just going to go out there and play as good as we can.
And if the Chants play as good as they can, keep those Wolves off balance, and of course,
a little luck,
maybe they can do it. In Horry County, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports.
It's pretty sound, I think, to say we're probably a year away from being what we would have called through the transition of this staff from where we were with Coach Morrison.
I'm a bit confused. The Gamecocks won 5 of their last 6 games in '92. If they're still a year away, what's on the agenda for spring of '93?
I hope that we can come out of spring practice with identifying at least starters and then trying to identify depth at those positions.
Spring football practice usually kind of laid back and time to get back in shape. But for 2 quarterbacks at USC, Blake Williamson and Steve Tannehill, they both want to prove that they should be the starter.
I think some of us recognize that Steve Tannehill will probably be the starter at quarterback. But what we want to do is we want to bring Blake along as fast as we can because, as I mentioned, he's one play away from being a starter or one decision away from being a starter.
As close as Williamson is, Tannehill is still the one. After his guidance in '92, the sophomore is just more experienced and mature, and the success of the Gamecocks lies heavily on Tannehill's shoulders. In Columbia, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports. A positive start for the Chanticleers. The setting, it's great.
We're very excited about being here in Tucson, and of course, this unbelievable great weather. We thought we had great weather in Myrtle Beach till we came here this time of year.
Now to a more serious subject, the top seed in the West, Michigan.
I'm not intimidated as a coach, and you'll have to ask Tony Duncan as how he feels as a player.
As a player, I'm not intimidated by anybody. I'm looking forward to facing Chris Webber, Jalen Rose, Juwan Howard. I'm looking forward to facing them. I'm not intimidated at all.
All right, intimidation's not a factor, but how about the game plan? It has to be near perfect.
We've maybe found a couple things that we can key on, but we're sure not going to talk about those things today.
The general must have given you some tips, Coach.
I did go dove hunting with him this fall and all that stuff, but I don't know if anybody gets that close to Bobby Knight.
A possible key ingredient for the Michigan Coastal matchup, trash talk.
They want to talk trash, and I'm the one they can talk to, and I'll gobble it up and keep on playing.
But how do you know what to say?
I don't know. Maybe there's a book out. I don't know.
I sure hope those are just some of his jokes, but he also says he can put voodoo on free throw shooters too, so I don't know.
Helping the Chants prepare for top seed Michigan, Ken Slats, WPDE Action Sports. Heading to the Trans-South 500 in Darlington, Rusty Walls is no doubt the hottest driver. After a major wreck at Daytona, Rusty has just poured it on. A win, a second place, and a third.
I'm really happy with what's going on. We got our heads screwed on right. The whole team's pulling in one direction, and we're definitely dedicated to win this '93 championship. I mean, we're on a roll. I think it's going to be hard to stop us.
Also hot, Jeff Bodine. He's quietly worked his way toward the top in '93. The elder Bodine is second in points behind Dale Earnhardt. Rusty is third. Dale Jarrett has dropped to fourth, and the rookie Jeff Gordon is fifth. Kyle Petty has had a rough start in '93, but hopes to turn it around at Darlington.
When you won there, you know you can win anywhere else. And I think no matter who you talk to, whether it's Ricky who's won there, or Daddy, or Pearson and Bobby, and a lot of guys like Darryl and those guys that have won there, they tell you once you win there, that gives you enough confidence that you can go on and win anywhere.
And also with momentum, this past week's winner at the Motorcraft 500.
We're looking forward to going to Darlington. We tested real good. I think We've got a good race set up. We've got a decent qualifying set up.
Ken Slats reporting 15 Sports. In his 18 years at Coastal, Coach Russ Bergman has accomplished just about all there is to accomplish at a minor Division I program, including 2 trips to the NCAA tournament in the last 3 years.
Right now, I'm happy with the situation I have here at Coastal Carolina. I have a very good job here. They've been very good to me here. The community's been very good to me in our program here. And, you know, unless somebody really comes after me hard, I'm very happy right here.
Can you take this program any higher?
I think we can with the new facility that's being built in Myrtle Beach. We're hoping it's going to be done for the 94-95 season. That's what they're projecting it to be done for the 94-90, and that will help us as far as getting a little bit better recruit.
And that's his top priority, try and fill the shoes of the 4-time Big South Player of the Year.
We do have everyone back besides Tony Duncan, and we're going to try to sign 2 or 3 players to go along with what we got coming back, and hopefully we'll be able to put together a team next year that can possibly win 20 games and get back in the Final 64 again.
That will be a challenge, but Coach Bergman has just about met every other one. In Horry County, Ken Slats, 15 Sports.